galaxy day for you and me. Blow your shell, beat your drum, tell others. Like and share, subscribe and discuss it too. Let the world know Studio Galaxy is around.
Welcome, brothers. Welcome, sisters. Welcome to our program on Studio Galaxy 473 in Confer. We are the Galaxy Equalizers, and we are just perhaps recovering from whatever part of celebration we made in Emancipation. Emancipation is a significant period in our life, one that we must never forget, and one now that we must be able to make money from. So we on Studio Galaxy 473 on this agriculture program is preoccupied with the farmers making maximum use of the opportunities provided them. And the topic today is, what is the status of agriculture export to the U.S. market? You know, we really want to provoke some discussion with our farmers organization, and stakeholders. What is the status of agriculture export to the U.S. market? Are we satisfied that those who direct us is providing enough information to us about the potential of the U.S. market? Is it a good market? Should farmers bother with the U.S. market, or should we try to exploit foreign other market alone? Do we know what is the depth, what is the capacity, what is the potential of the U.S. market? Our farmers in Grenada know what are the crops that they could export to the U.S. market. Could it be grown in Grenada? Do our farmers know what is the quantity that the U.S. market could hold? If it's a little bucket, a big bucket. And who better with me on Galaxy Equalizers than Joshua? Joshua, unlike me, have had some stint directly in the U.S. market. So he's not only speaking, he wouldn't be speaking from what he hear, like me, or what he read. He will have some direct experience. Joshua, are you satisfied? Are you comfortable with what we're doing to explain, to educate, to make our farmers aware of the status of the agriculture crops that they can export to the U.S. market?
Good morning to all our listeners, those at home, diaspora, and worldwide. It's wonderful being back with you this Saturday. The Saturday program has become part of my life. I actually get up and I think about it. That's the first thing I think about on Saturdays. Now we're talking about a very important subject this morning, one that really has to be better understood, or as people sometimes say, demystified, because at the moment, the way that things operate, it looks as though we're looking at the American market, and there is a cloud. As we're looking through that cloud, we're not really seeing clearly what's going on, as Mr. Pierre tried to indicate. Are we really aware of the quantum the American market wants in terms of goods, be it soursop, be it pepper? We'll talk a little about soursop, and everybody know that the market for fresh soursop is massive, and as though Grenada has that ability to supply soursop, they are not able to supply the quantum that's really needed. Now, I haven't looked at the numbers for a while, but I was heavily involved in terms of our Soursop project. But from memory, in terms of Soursop, and don't hold me to this, anybody, I think we were producing less than 10% of what the American market required. The market was absolutely massive. So, as well as Soursop, there are many other crops that we can produce for the American market, be it hot peppers, be it...
Joshua, before you go, let me stay on Soursop for a while, because some of the exporters might be upset with us. This week, they take some leaking. They were not able to export the Soursop that they bought. I don't know, it's over 10,000 pounds of Soursop end up in their hand.
Yeah.
And we have to ask, is the Ministry of Agriculture doing enough to encourage farmers about the status? You said them about 10%.
Less.
Could you spend some time on that?
Yeah, there's a lot of data around in terms of Soursop, its potential, its value in terms of money, etc. I haven't been that involved in it recently, but I still have all the data. So this is something I will get and have available, so we can talk about that again. But the potential in terms of Soursop, fresh Soursop, as we know, we are one of the only country that can export fresh Soursop to the United States. People can export like frozen Soursop juice and those kinds of stuff. But the reason for Soursop, and there are about 4 or 5 other crops. It was to compensate for bananas. When we lost the market for bananas in Europe and the UK, it was the Americans who took the Caribbean banana exports to the World Trade Organizations, and they really decimated the Eastern Caribbean state in terms of the ruling that they got against us. And then they decided they're going to compensate. So they identified about 5 crops that we alone could supply. St. Vincent got some other crops as well to supply. But the Soursop was just like a money maker. I know we're talking about 10,000 pounds of Soursop that couldn't be shipped and possibly, lost. But when I was involved in terms of the Soursop, when the plane didn't come, and that has very little to do with government, that's often to do with the private company running the airplane. The first thing that farmers used to do, well, the farmers that I was involved in, is to pulp the Soursop and ship it out to Trinidad ASAP. So you had to have a freezer facility where you can pulp, freeze it, and then you had to kind of turn to your plan B, which is Soursop. There's a high demand for Soursop pulp in Trinidad, and there aren't that many exporters of Soursop. I think maybe, I don't know, 10, 12 major exporters of Soursop.
Under 10%.
Yeah, so...
and it's not 10,000, 65,000 pounds.
65,000
pounds
well,
that they suffered this week.
Well, that is great, because
that is huge.
No, yeah, because that means the production is rising in terms of that. So all this lash that we take in, it looks as though the Soursop producers are rising to the occasion.
They're trying, but when the exporters lose 65,000 pounds, because the plane, for one whatever reason, did not come out of St. Lucia to come to collect them in Grenada.
Yeah.
And they was not able to make alternative arrangements.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah, I know.
Some of the exporters could be on the point of bankruptcy.
Yeah. Well, Amerijet often has to reroute its planes based on the cargoes, and sometimes they don't come to Grenada because they're full, and sometimes they don't come to Grenada because Grenada don't have enough cargo to make it economically viable for them. So there's a range of reasons, but
So
this
the
is
question
not
is,
sustainable.
Why the Ministry of Agriculture and those who in charge are not doing more to encourage greater production of saucer?
Ooh, not being part of government.
Well, if you is Joshua, perhaps you're close to Jesus Christ, you must have some miracle pass. You're in a better position to know that.
Yeah, I know, and I have been involved in terms of the sauce-up industry and encouragement. There's an FAO project, but what has been told or said in terms of the farmers is that we need to have pockets of sauce-up production. So, for example, you say that often, Granbuzz. We need 50 acres of Granbuzz just producing sauce-up. We need another area in terms of producing another 50 or 30 acres as well. We've not taken a systematic approach in terms of the possibility. And sometimes I think we like to complain and moan because I say to myself, well, this opportunity is right here in front of us. It requires a PPP, which is public-private partnership. So the government, as you say, really needs to work hand in hand with the producers and have a program and a plan to just accelerate production over the next kind of 3 to 5 years. I know the technical support is being provided, and it's been provided by Brazil through the FAO. And when I go to those meetings, I often see about 20 or 30 farmers at those meetings, and they all seem to be
Farmers or extension officers?
No, the farmers. Because the support for the producers has been very, very good. And also the data on the whole subject has been very good. It's just that my mind has been away from sauce-up for a little while, but I still have all the written documentation.
Well, we have to say to all the stakeholders that you have a market in the United States for sauce-up, and all Grenadians must know that.
Yeah.
All the farmers must know that.
Yeah.
Particularly the farmers with a big plot of land.
Yeah.
And anybody who have more than 5-10 acres of land in Grenada, we could call you a big small farmer. Because other countries might laugh at us if we say, but in the context of Grenada. Now we have 1 or 2 big farms in St. Andrews, like Ramdani, the Nayaks, the Foresters. Are they big sauce-up producers? Because they have a lot of land. Now, how could the Ministry of Agriculture sell the idea of them planting sauce-up? And when we say sell the idea, we don't mean money at a pass. Sometimes we have to sell interest. We have to show these individuals. If you plant 10 acres of sauce-up, over the next 18 months sauce-up does take to mature, but we management are good. So let's say 3 years. Over the next 3 years, you likely, we have a colony line? No. You're likely to get a good reward. You have to practically come out with a plan because most of these farmers have labor. They have money. They don't broke. They don't have money, but they don't broke. A lot of Grenadians that say they have money, but they broke. They're working hard, and they can't give you nothing. But these farmers, they have their staff, but they don't have interest. So how could this Ministry of Agriculture, these stakeholders, sell interest to motivate these people? We are producing 50,000 sauce-up plants a year. We will provide the source of plan for you at cost price. You must have the holes and the ready and the spacing. We will ensure it by our extension staff before the plans are delivered to you. And in the month of December, January, or whenever, those plans will be ready for delivery. So you know exactly when. And these people can prepare their plot, prepare their hole, and you can even tell them what crops you want to plant between. Think about it now. We have to do that.
Yeah, but it boils down to what you've been saying consistently over the months on this program, and that is there has to be model farms, and so you have to go to the government estate and say, well, this is the Soursop plot. It's 20 acres that we have here as demonstration model. People could come and see how it's done. And there could be, basic short courses when you come. You get a little overview for 2 hours in the classroom how to do it, as well as the practical stuff that you go and you see. In fact, I was at a demonstration farm last week, and that was for banana, and I was so impressed. But what dawned on me is I didn't see any program for the farm for farmers to come and see how it's done and all the rest of it and education. But the farm was beautifully organized. So it's something that sometimes we don't see, but it's there. We have to get the connectivity.
We must see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Otherwise, what happened? The technical people produce something and they're afraid to show it.
Yeah.
But if you produce something and you have confidence in yourself, you want the farmers to know. For instance, the technical people in agriculture, or whoever it be, should have an information sheet on Soursop, whether it is in form of a booklet or computer. Well, some of us not very versed on the computer, so we stuck in information sheet. But we could pay to print it. So you could go to the Ministry of Agriculture and say, I want to know about Soursop. And they say, well, you have to pay $10 to pay to print the information sheet because you is a kind of agricultural lunatic, you don't have much technical knowledge. Even though you call us that, nothing wrong with that. You're accustomed saying it behind way back.
Yeah, a nice manual.
We have an information, a manual. I like how you call it a manual.
A nice manual.
An information sheet, a booklet, so we could get information.
Yeah, and I know there's been booklets from FAO circulated in the classroom for
but that is for technical people. We're talking about something that is applicable to the farmers.
Yeah.
And those big massive language they're using. Sometimes the poor farmer can understand that.
Yeah, but what's in my mind? My mind is a little disturbed at the moment because when I hear 65,000 pounds.
That's awesome.
It blows my mind because I'm thinking, well, how do we avoid this risk? Because this risk is there and it could happen to next week again.
I pass one of the
65,000.
One of the Soursop growers. Me and him good, he just talk to me. But I shouting, the man just drive off and go. I say maybe the man vexed because he listen to me program too much. But it's after hearing 65,000 pounds of Soursop.
Wow.
He was not able to export it.
Yeah.
And he must be vexed with everybody, including me.
Yeah, and one of the big Soursop exporter is Benson, who is a close friend. I haven't seen him for a while, but
he must be vexed. They just get angry because they have massive losses.
Yeah.
And no bank don't want to see them now,
Yeah.
You can't tell the bank you lost 65,000 pounds of Soursop because the plane didn't come and ask them for money.
Yeah, there's a president of the association, I'll see if we could get him on.
President might hide in too. He lose 65,000 pounds.
Yeah.
You know what to say.
Yeah.
Well, we make fun of these things. And we make joke because we want you not to get heart attack, but to able to sit down and discuss these issues.
Yeah, it's
And we appeal
yeah.
to all the stakeholders.
Yeah, £65,000. Well, I appeal personally to the government of Grenada to get onto that and see how you can help the farmers straight away. I had no idea this was going on.
You never know. And these people have had serious losses during COVID-19.
Yeah,
Serious losses they had in COVID-19.
yeah.
And now they're fighting to build back. And a couple months ago, they lost a whole set of crops again.
Uh-huh.
So they have it periodically.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
this one is a big one.
65,000. I thought 6,500.
No, 65,000.
Six.
Losses. And they would have already paid the farmers. So the farmers didn't lose anything.
Mm-hmm.
The farmers didn't lose anything. The thief didn't lose anything. The people who the transporting, the only people who lost
It's the exporters.
was the exporters.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
Joshua, we on this topic, what is the status of agriculture export to the U.S. market? Are you satisfied that the people in the diaspora knows what crop we could export to the market?
No, they don't. I can say that confidently. You always have a few who may well know, but the vast majority don't know, whether it's, you know, farmers, exporters, whether it's consumers, etc. In fact, I saw a terrible trend that was going on in the United States when I went to have a look at agriculture. And like most Grenadians know, they talk about Labé Market. And what I was seeing in Labé Market and learning is that, you know, it is sometimes easier for them to get the stuff from Mexico than trying to get it from Grenada. And I know quite a few of them have dual kind of businesses, like they've bought farms in Grenada. I know that kind of closure area they were talking about, and they were hoping to grow the produce and get it shipped over to the United States. But I think the problem is the infrastructure development. We talk a lot about marketing board, and it doesn't work. But I think we're not very good at creating that infrastructure so the road exists for the farmers to easily, you know, walk that road and just deliver their goods. It's when people want to export, it often feels or seems like if they have to create the roadmap to export it. So I think there needs to be that clarity in terms of, you know, you could go to Grenville or you could go to St. George's and just sell your goods, and that goods, whoever's doing with the other leg, they have all the expertise and know-how, and they could get the goods over to the different points, because we have such a large market in the United States, be it in New York, be it in Washington, Texas as well. You know, people would be surprised to know how much of our fellow Grenadians are in Texas. And different hubs in America. We have large populations. Florida, I mean...
We have enough market.
Yeah, we have enough...
Hire a plane
Yeah.
every week to come down here and take our products.
Yeah, yeah.
But we don't have products.
No, not the product, I think, is missing so much, although that's part of the problem. I think in all sector, you need a champion, somebody who's going to champion
Well, we
the
have not
sector.
had that. Some people might have felt that Posueda could have been a champion. When a guy tell me that, I say, you're crazy upside it down.
No.
Posueda came here, and next thing he only lunatic and idiot, he said. And then we have the other gentleman, who again is generally well knowledgeable and well certificated and from the bread basket, and he has The only thing that he has done dramatic, I would say, was to shut down the water from Maribor farmers. He has not been helpful.
You're talking about our minister who's fondly known as Toes?
Toes, yeah. Toes, the only dramatic, he likes drama, but the only dramatic thing he did for agriculture so far was to shut down the water for 26 Maribor farmers.
He made the news.
But you know we can export passion fruit
Yeah.
and papaya.
Yeah.
When I say papaya,
Yeah.
yeah, carambola,
Yeah.
we can export these things to the U.S. market too. And these things will take long to grow. Passion fruit take about 8 months.
Yeah.
So if we decide to go after passion fruit for the U.S. market, within 1 year, Grenada can export thousands of pounds of passion fruit to the U.S. market. Breadfruit take long. We can export breadfruit and sapodilla too.
So, breadfruit is the lifespan. Breadfruit does go soft overnight if it's not
Those
treated
crops are
properly.
very perishable.
Yeah, yeah.
And you could sell breadfruit. The breadfruit we cook or frozen
Yeah.
for wider access.
Yeah, yeah.
So you could.
I think
I don't like to eat the frozen breadfruit, but these people here under a long time they don't eat breadfruit, so they eat anything.
Yeah, yeah. But this morning I was at the market, and just quickly I'll interrupt you
Yeah.
because I know you're doing your little research. And I met Mr. Ramdani. We had a good chat at the market, myself and Leslie. And you were talking about the source up on the big farms, and I was thinking, well, you know, I'll go and see Leslie and see whether or not, because quite often these guys, they're not aware that they could do this or do that, and they need somebody to kind of just help them along. The other thing as well that I want to say in defense of Mr. Mr. Toes has been working on a major agricultural project that I've been asked to help with as well. And that should be coming on board in the next little while. And I know he's gone beyond his ministerial kind of responsibilities to make that project work. So just in his defense, I can't
But that's not defense. You're trying to make a future. You're trying to make some future.
No, because we're talking about weeks before that come on board. Yeah,
But the public don't know about
No, the public don't know about
So
it.
then why the secrecy?
Well, I think they're hoping to have everything sorted before they make the big
Then
PR.
you're not dealing with your home.
Yeah.
You're dealing with the public. So if you have something good for the public,
Yeah, yeah,
tell the public.
yeah.
You have to remember I can't remember when, 1990 or what, that period. They claimed they had something very good for Grenada. They cut down Belvedere nutmeg.
God.
Up to today, I
dear.
cannot find one person that understood why they cut down Belvedere nutmeg. They took a loan. They're about 20 million plus. You
Yeah.
notice I'm not saying 25 because I ain't sure. 20 million plus. They buy chainsaws and other thing, and they cut down the what you call it nutmeg again? That nutmeg was planted in 1884.
What?
They cut down the nutmeg in Belvedere,
Oh, Lord.
and we argued. This is the first place nutmeg was planted in Grenada.
Oh, dear.
So when I worry, anytime I hear they have a secret plan, I just tremble.
No, but this plan is not
Because
secret.
most of the secret plans are extremely destructive and counterproductive.
Yeah. I can't bridge confidentiality, but
Well,
it's
yeah,
a very good
so,
plan.
so don't interfere with it because right now you make me worried. What they go destroy again?
Oh, Lord.
But passion fruit
Yeah.
is not hard to grow.
I firmly believe is the infrastructural arrangement. So, and I mean very simple. You have one buyer who's exporting passion fruit, so he or she sends out the message: all passion fruit growers, I will buy your passion fruit every Tuesday at X amount a pound. If we have these kind of structures in place, it makes a difference. So that's why everybody kind of tend to think, well, marketing board.
Well, sometimes we go back. I've stayed away from the marketing board drama quite a lot. But we sometimes we say marketing board has not been productive, and that is not true. Marketing board has not been doing as well as we expected to.
Yeah.
But from the time they bring in marketing board, it's a kind of socio-economic structure to help the farmers.
Yeah.
For instance, Michael Batiste would tell you that marketing board spend over 100,000 pounds of sauce to convince the Americans that the sauce-up was disease-free. Now, no private man don't buy 100,000 pounds of something and dispose of it.
Yeah, no, that
To
is
convince
the Americans.
the Americans that our sauce-up do not have any disease, marketing board had to sacrifice
100,000.
100,000 pounds of sauce.
Wow.
And sometimes I think one of the problems with these organizations, we take a big university graduate with a briefcase and certificate, and we put them to manage something. If their mother had a rum shop, and sometimes when the parents selling the rummer say, "Oh God, she diluted again." One say, "Don't worry, man, she's son in university." They knew she had to make maximum money to educate your son.
Yeah.
When the son come, he close down the rum shop.
Oh, Lord.
And one of the mistakes we are making in Grenada, we believe when an individual come out from university with a briefcase, a certificate, he have Grenadian sense. No, you don't have sense. Sometimes this individual have to work with somebody that have sense. Kenny Lal seen and them don't go in no university.
No.
They open business all over the country.
Yeah, but Kenny's mother was in business, his father was in business, and Kenny has that entrepreneurial kind of gift.
All the time Kenny they in jail. Kenny just studying about being retributive justice, Kenny studying about when he come out, where to go and open business.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
And you go Ramdani.
Yeah.
Look at them, LA Puzzle.
yeah, but Andal is a real magnificent motivational study.
And they have interesting stories about a whole team of them that used to lime,
Yeah,
We're going to live with it. If they don't talk about it, I wouldn't talk about it.
Okay.
So that's one of the mistakes that we're making. These individuals come back and they're not very practical. And then politicians will be politicians. Government is the biggest employer in all countries. And no matter what the government say, this government just fight to get people employed.
Yeah.
The manager have to understand the role and objective and make the thing work.
Yeah.
We subsidize plane to bring people in Grenada.
Yeah.
So nothing is wrong in subsidizing marketing board.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
I've taken strong objection with CARICOM leaders in not subsidizing LIAT.
Yeah.
Now we're paying all them planes. I'm certain that we'll be giving the African planes money to bring people here or to come empty.
Yeah.
So that's a fact of life.
Incentive. And had we created that enabling environment to ship out our produce, because there are quite a few, maybe about 20 products that we can ship
Well,
to
we list some of them already. You hear us speak about 65,000 pounds of sauce up. The farmers sit and watch it perish.
Yeah.
But we also were not able to ship out fish. But what happened is that the fish could go back in the cold storage.
Yeah, the freezer.
But sauce up could only remain for maybe 72, 96 hours.
Yeah, because it's fresh sauce.
After that, it would start to
Yeah.
deteriorate.
Yeah, it has to go in the freezer and then pulped.
So maybe there are 30, 40 other crops that you could export. But you notice we're concentrating on those that this government could plant and start to export before they throw this government out of government.
Yeah.
So that's why we're talking about passion fruit,
Yeah.
papaya, banana, plantain, ripe and green,
Yeah.
could be exported.
You know, we're
Exported.
exporting green plantain to America. There's a group that's
Oh,
doing
ripe
that regular.
and green.
Yeah,
We could
they-
send them to America.
yeah,
We have West Indian cherries.
yeah. They
But you
like
can't
that.
plant 2 cherry tree behind your house and expect it to grow. You have to plant a 5-10 acres
Yeah.
of cherries.
Yeah, that strategic planning needs
West
to
Indian
be
cherry.
done.
How long sugar apple take to bear?
I don't know. You know.
I don't know. Maybe 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And some of these things grow on some of the not very good agricultural soil.
Yeah, but Rose Hill, I used to ship the sugar apple out to the States in terms of a company I was involved in. And a lot of it used to come from, Rose Hill area going down to Bathway. A lot of it were grown in those areas. But we need that strategic
Vegetables
plan.
and seasoning. Every time you hear you talking greater, some of the old revolutionaries with the failed coup d'etat, they're talking about nectar. Nectar was not good, it was just a show. The container they buy from Trinidad was more expensive than what they put in it. Seasoning.
Yeah.
You could export seasoning to the US market. And if we have food and nutrition people, and we have the lab, and we have one among the bright people, we could produce enough seasoning and packet it.
Yeah.
You could sell fresh seasoning in the US market too,
Yep.
But we could produce seasoning and hot pepper. Well, don't talk about hot pepper. Hot pepper, this company in Sea Moon, they can't even get
Baron?
hot pepper to buy.
The
They have to
Baron
import
people.
it. So don't speak about hot pepper. Seasoned pepper in Grenada, you could also export seasoning. The price for seasoned pepper now is about $8 a pound.
About 10.
$10 a pound.
Uh-huh.
One of the biggest challenge with seasoning is harvesting.
Yeah.
It's labor intensive to harvest, and that's where the challenge is.
Right.
And we have to, most time they say pay workers by the hour. I don't like that at all, because you could pay a man by the hour and you don't work for the day.
You could pay him by a crate.
I prefer to pay you by what you produce.
Yeah, a crate of seasoning.
So if the man come 4 o'clock in the morning and he harvests what he's supposed to harvest, why can't he go home 8?
Yeah.
But we say no, man going home too early.
Uh-huh.
He's supposed to work 8 to 4. And he's working 8 to 4. Take an hour for lunch, he smoke his pipe, he smoke his cigarette, he go and pee, go for, and he make it to 4. So we have to prepare to change. But we want the authorities that be, including the Ministry of Agriculture. And you will hear us speaking a lot about the Ministry of Agriculture when you're speaking about agriculture.
Somebody say more carbon is needed.
Because if the problem is direction, if the problem is incentives, if the problem is motivation, if the problem is providing a manual for the farmers, then obviously you have to go to the Ministry of Agriculture.
That enabling environment is created by the ministry or by governments, and then the farmers are left to kind of produce based on the enabling environment that exists.
Dashing bush, callaloo. You could export callaloo. Tayo leaves, callaloo. That could be exported to the U.S. market.
Uh-huh.
You could cook it. You could sell it frozen, or you could sell it so. Could you imagine we exporting callaloo leaves to the U.S. market, or we freeze it, or we put it in some way where, we have a lot of people who like callaloo.
Yeah, and the U.S. market, the demand is very high. Labe Market contacted me a while ago asking for callaloo.
Shadow Benny,
Yeah.
Shadow Benny,
Ah,
we could
just-
sell.
You just
Thyme,
yeah.
rosemary,
Yeah.
basil, pumpkin,
fresh.
cucumber, okra, and eggplant.
Yeah.
No, we have to ask the question. What was?
Absolutely, because you would hear me talk about decolonization in the past on the program, and many people might say, what is this boy talking about again? Now, what has happened to us is this. We have cocoa, nutmeg, banana, which used to be prime crops, and then later on fish came on. And these roots were designed for our colonial masters in terms of receiving the crops that they had us planted down here, and they made all the money. Now, to decolonize our system, what we're talking about here with the soursop, with the seasoned peppers, etc., requires us to create new infrastructure, new routes, so that we can kind of take advantage of the development in agriculture. The U.S. market is, 340 million, and probably people from, Caribbean background, there's at least probably 5 or 6 million of us from the different islands, over there.
The U.S. market is the biggest market in the world. Everybody wants to sell to the U.S. They don't want to buy from the U.S. That's why I'm not against Donald Trump with the lunatic kind of tariff attitude. Because every country in the world wants the U.S. dollar. So they want to sell to the U.S. They don't want to buy from the U.S. We in our corner here like the U.S. The majority of our people not in China. No matter with all them communists, they're not in Russia. They don't go in there. Even Grenada hardline communists is in America and Canada. So the markets we have, we must exploit those markets.
Yeah, and it's easy to exploit. We just need that leadership, that infrastructure creation, and we're there. And it's going to be better than cocoa and nutmeg, I promise you. And it's going to be more profitable than cocoa and nutmeg.
And we're not speaking about crops that are taking years to grow.
Yeah.
You hear we don't speak about cocoa and nutmeg. You hear we're not speaking about trees that are growing now.
Yeah.
We're speaking about trees under 2 years. Ginger. How long ginger take to get?
I'm not sure.
Well, it might take a whole year to get plant.
Yeah.
So let's say 3 years.
No, ginger take a year, man.
Well, we going to get about a whole year to get plants. So the ministry tissue culture persuade again. Spend half his life in the Ministry of Agriculture. Another half of his life with nutmeg and he thought of.
Cocoa.
And he was in the area of the tissue culture. That is their field. Pest management, etc. So we can provide tissue culture and provide all these things, ginger, turmeric, provide 50,000 plants from Formica.
Yeah, because my idea really was that the Ministry of Agriculture needs to be run by a PS and a business manager to deal with the things we're talking about now. So...
But to understand, you're asking for what you have. The permanent secretary in the ministries is the one the politician interacts with. We describe the permanent secretary that is a conduit.
A conduit.
A conduit. Conduit? I like conduit. Conduit sounding more romantic. But the right word is conduit.
Yeah.
Right. That is to protect the politicians from the public officer. Then you have the technical officers. The technical officer, you have the chief technical officer, most likely somebody from the technical area. Right. Whether it was veterinary, whether it was pest management, general agriculture. Yeah. And by that time, this person would have a general knowledge about everybody. And when they have their management meeting, they would meet all the different heads of department. So what is the problem is we are not holding people to be accountable for the job. They're unproductive, and we give them a free pass.
Yeah, but
because they speak in good English.
Mr. Pierre, you and I have diverse views, and I think your views in terms of these things is probably a little better than mine. I think
it's not better, it's different.
Yeah, I think you should
It's not different. That's different, not better.
Yeah, I think you should get your friend to come over here, Mr. Donald Trump, and let him deal with the public sector.
Donald Trump, space so one for Donald Trump in America now because of economy and scale. He
Yeah.
can study us.
Yeah, let him just kind of clean them out and start again.
But you notice, Donald Trump is not cleaning out America as Obama. Obama sent back more people than Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And Joe Biden sent back more than Donald Trump. But Donald Trump is more dramatic.
Yeah.
So you're not doing much cleaning out here, more drama.
Uh,
But in Grenada context, we here, we are concentrating on the crops
Yeah.
that this government, in the next 2 years, could start to make some fundamental change.
yeah, create the infrastructure.
Create it, because
Let us make money in agriculture and big money as everybody else makes.
at least show people yams,
Yeah.
dashing. So you could export the dashing leaf and you could export dashing. I think we used to export dashing to the States already.
Yeah.
The white man, I think, in Brudge Gold. Somebody call me and you could correct me or remind me. Edo. Well, we don't have much of a Edo in Grenada. Edo was Trinidad and Guyana.
Yeah.
So
Guyana
Edo
for
is
Edo.
just fitting in the market because we have some Trinidadian
Yeah.
remnants here.
Yeah.
So it is not
Yeah.
very powerful ingredient.
But
Turmeric. Like turmeric is saffron.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always like to, I don't know how they want to take with saffron from us,
Yeah.
but they say turmeric. But I like saffron.
Yeah.
They say saffron is a very expensive product and it's more from the east.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what we have is not saffron, it's turmeric.
Yeah.
And all of us just jump up and start to say turmeric.
Yeah.
But we must say turmeric saffron. Cassava,
Yeah.
fresh and grated.
Yeah.
We can export that to the U.S. market. You know, bay leaf,
Yeah.
pimento.
Yeah, pimento.
So what is wrong with us?
Yeah. Well, what's wrong with us is that strategic plan has never manifested itself for agriculture. In many ways, we have quite a few men who have one eye in agriculture, but very few with two eyes. So we do our best, and we very individualistic. It's not a coordinated countrywide approach, and this is an opportunity to fix it quick. You say there's another 2 years for this administration, and it could be fixed in 2 years.
Of course, we could start. I mean, nobody expect you to perform magic in 2 years. 3 years you didn't perform magic. But they want to see you change your attitude.
Yeah.
And for instance, the Nutmeg Association could have explored the possibility of the ginger. Because ginger is a kind of spice too. And they have an establishment so they could explore the possibility and come up with a, even if it's for just to help the Ministry of Agriculture. I always see Nutmeg as an agent for NDC, you know, but is not interested in the farmers. So now we want the agent for NDC to show some interest in the farmers and explore the possibility of we exporting ginger, raw or processed.
Yeah.
Because we import ginger, you know, we import
And
the-
there's a big demand for ginger as well, the strong ginger they call it, because the Chinese produce that big fat ginger, but
That's true.
it's not pungent as our
small ginger.
Yeah, as our small ginger.
But the Chinese big ginger take it over with small ginger. You say bigger is and that is a kind of American culture, you know.
Yeah.
Bigger is better.
Yeah. No, but there's quite a large market that understands the difference between our Caribbean ginger.
But you think our little children understand that?
No.
In the next 15 years, these children, these kind of snack children we have, they don't even know that.
Yeah. And even when we look at the list, it says small Grenadian hot pepper.
Grenadian hot.
Small. They recognize, it's small and hot.
Shadow Benny. I mean, Nutmeg Association. Because why I say Nutmeg? I doesn't want to speak about them because they, but why I saying to them? They have the manpower. They have the certification. They have the computer. They have everything. They just saw the mind. Bad-minded.
Yeah. So
Yes, we the question we ask, what is the status of the agriculture export to the US market?
Yeah, it's really been on life support. Really, that's been the status of export to the U.S. market. It's been on life support. We need a few champions to get it going. But most important, again, it needs public and private parties to work together, create the enabling an environment, and allow the producers to produce, reward them, and also kind of acknowledge the part that they play. Now, just talking about these things is not going to make a difference. We need a plan. We need to know government is on board. We know the farmers, once they're making money, you can't stop them. You just have to look at planting. We had Beryl that took place about a year ago, so just over a year ago. There was a call for planting and bananas. I was involved in the
flood the
planting.
market.
Yeah, and within a year we flood the market.
We flood the market, so we stop in plant.
Yeah.
Just now again, call for planting again, we flood the market and we stop plant.
Yeah. So,
Dr. Antoine, I heard him on the agriculture program in Andrew, is involved in spice. I hope Nutmeg Association could adopt them and provide some necessary space and assistance for them. Because they're dealing with spice. And nutmeg is a spice.
yeah.
And as a good you do for agriculture, that you have not been doing good things for agriculture, adopt the spice program with Dr. Antoine and them, maybe providing some logistics and basic things. It wouldn't cost you much because you already have the manpower, you have the staff, you have all the logistics, and give them the push that they have. If they don't got help, they might stay 20 years fighting to get off the ground. But if they get a little jump start, and that is going to be good for nutmeg, it go good for NDC, and it go make nutmeg look as if they're doing something good for the farmers.
Yeah. That's a very good point.
I mean, they don't have nothing to lose.
No, a very good
They
point.
have nothing to lose
And
because...
when you say Dr. Antoine, you're talking about Dr. Patrick Antoine?
No, not this Antoine. Not the one that tried to go in politics. Since he tried to go in politics, I say he do the wrong thing. He wouldn't work. He tend to be a little bit arrogant. So the best thing, he go in Jamaica and study talking like a Jamaican.
So
I don't agree with him at all.
Yeah, so the Dr. Antoine
The
is
one that making the rum.
the Woodman one.
Woodman man.
Okay.
Yeah, the one that them fellas like for Woodman.
Yeah.
So he and the other Rasta, the other individual, and the other individual is an interesting one, The great-grandfather refused to shake Princess Margaret's hand when she come in Grenada.
What?
Because he would not go inside the Anglican church.
Okay.
So she come out of the church to shake his hand.
Okay.
He went outside of the Anglican church because they had to award him. But you Catholics and Anglican.
Yeah.
He said he would not go to church.
Okay.
So Princess Margaret come out of the church and shake him.
Yeah.
Nowadays we have guys with no belly. We're coming to the end of the program, so
Yes, man.
you better go ahead.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about a very interesting topic, and a topic that has potentially major benefits to our country, our farmers, etc. I've started using the word decolonize, and I have to explain it a little bit more, but in the future. Now, we're looking at the United States market, which is one of the biggest, if not the biggest market in the world. And we have access to that market with our produce. Now, we're not so familiar with that, and the infrastructure for that is not as good as Geest infrastructure to take bananas and other bits to Britain. But this market is going to be more profitable for Grenada and Grenada farmers. Mr. Pear made a good point. Oh, we're not talking about crops that take a year to grow, 5 or 7 years to grow. We're talking about crops that take 3 months.
Passion fruit.
And therefore that's part of the decolonization process of our business system. We have to create new kind of routes, new market, etc. Now, many people have said to me, "Oh, Josh, you see, they have this African forum and with the Caribbean. This is just PR something." But it might be PR something, but what it's doing is getting us to think there are other markets than just Britain and Europe, and we need to explore those markets. And if we can trade with Africa, I just say wonderful.
Yes, my brother, what we do on this program is to provoke discussion. We don't have much answers, but we want the farmers to understand we could address the problems that we have. We have a big market in the United States of America for some non-traditional goods. We have crops that under 1 year, or let's say under 2 years, 'cause by the time we see one among the trouble to start, we could produce it. Dashing leaf, passion fruit. And we have what it takes. My brother said decolonization, and I want us to research those words. Because the real colonists now are Grenadians, not the Europeans. The real people who suppressing us and keeping us down are our own children, and they're highly certificated. So we want you to share our program, like our program, subscribe, and talk about it.
Like and share, subscribe, and discuss it too. Let